The Comedy Historian Podcast with Robert and Gemma Ross.
Hello chums, Robert Ross here, and welcome to a brand new podcast. We've been a bit remiss in these, haven't we, Gemma, recently?
We have.
We've been too busy. We've been wonderfully busy, so thank you for everybody that's come to support the shows and who have bought copies of the Carry On Girls, which is doing wonderfully well. But what we're going to do, hopefully, if we've got time, and forgive us if we don't keep to this strictly, religiously, but we're going to try and do at least one podcast every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One sort of roundup of what we've just done and what we're about to do in the worlds of comedy and laughter. And the next one would be like a celebration of a comedian or comedy actor or comedy series. So send us suggestions for people that you want myself and Gemma to talk about. And we'll go from there, really.
So, Robert, what have we been up to? It's been a busy start to 2024.
Yeah, you promised me around Christmas time that we were going to have a quiet 2024 because I had books to write. I'm in the midst of 2 books at the moment, more of which later, I'm sure. But we've had a brilliant burst of shows this year so far. We were back at the Discover Bucks Museum, complementing their 1980s exhibition. I Grew Up 80s.
What did we show? We had we looked at 80s TV classics.
Yes, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat there, and it's not Kermit. So we had all the goodies, and we had a bit of the young ones, and Doctor Who we talked about, 80s Doctor Who, obviously, because I wrote 3 audio adventures for Colin Baker, Doctor number 6, he's now Doctor 406, I think, after all the reshuffles and rewrites on new Doctor Who, but that was for Big Finish, so that was fun. So we did all sorts of things, really, a whole sort of galaxy of cult TV, be it comedy, be it children's TV, be it sci-fi, whatever.
Do you think there's going to be plans to do another one?
What, another 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, that was fun. This is my generation of comedy, really. So that was a hoot. Yeah, and we're back at the Discover Bucks Museum, looking at the wild and wonderful and varied career of Sidney James, which is April the 20th. I think I'm right in saying that, Gemma. I'm looking at Gemma because Gemma is my walking, talking diary.
I can't remember, but if you visit our website, www.robertross.co.uk, and if you click on the shows tabs or performance tabs, I forget which one it is, one of those, you'll see where we're coming up.
Yeah, also sign up to not sign up, but just join the Facebook Comedy Historian. If you hashtag Comedy Historian, you'll find the Robert Ross comedy page, which is myself and Gemma run that, mostly Gemma, to be fair, but that also keeps you in the loop about what's coming up, and you can sign up via the website to the monthly free newsletter, which gives you no excuse to miss anything we're doing. So there you go.
And we also had, so on Friday just gone, so it's actually Sunday today, it's the 18th of February, we're recording this, so on the Friday we were at the Wanstead Tap.
Oh, that was great.
A really gorgeous venue. I must just say, if you're ever in the area or if you're local, absolutely go and visit it. It's a gorgeous beers on tap.
Yes.
And they have some fantastic events. But we were there and we were talking all things the Carry On Girls. So that will be dropping soon and we will share it.
Yeah, Dan Clapton, who runs it, is brilliant, a brilliant raconteur and host of the Wanstead podcast, which we did. So I think it's only the 2nd or 3rd one they've done, but we've got the record so far for the longest ever podcast. And we're determined that we're going to be the Ken Dodd of podcasts. We're going to be the longest runner. And we're very happy, hopefully, to go back to the Wanstead Tap. It's great. Recommended. And it's a nice little precursor to our... We've done quite a few Right On Comedy events. Right On Comedy, WRITE, if you don't know, it's our company that we celebrate and champion writers about comedy or comedy people who write, regardless of whether they write crime fiction or poetry or comic strips, whatever. We celebrate people we really love and admire. And we've done a few sort of events in the past, book festivals and the like. but we're doing our first Right On Comedy Club meeting, aren't we?
We are.
So tell the ladies and gents about that, Gemma.
Well, that's happening on Friday, the 23rd of February. It's it's a church hall, actually. So it's St Aloysius Church, which is in Somerstown. It's literally round the corner from Euston Station. So lots of lovely connections for you to get there. And we are going to be talking to some Carry On girls and some people that were in the films. We've also got tributes from Steve Nallen, who's going to be talking all about Beryl Reid and Dora Bryan. And we also have Andy Merriman, who you probably know really well as Hattie Jakes' biographer. If you don't know Andy's work, he will be signing some books and selling some books on the evening.
Absolutely.
So that's from doors open at 7:00. And it should be a really nice evening.
It's going to be great, and so far committed to be there. From the Carry On Girls, sort of glorious gaggle of actresses that appeared in the Carry Ons. We got dear pals Louise Burton, who was in Carry On England and Carry On Emmanuel. We have Pauline Piert, who was in Carry On Girls itself, brilliant Pauline Piert, and we have Alexandra Dane. They call me Busty. In Carry On Up the Khyber, and many more. She pops up and almost pops out in Carry On Doctor and Carry On Again Doctor and Carry On Loving, and she was in the original production of Carry On London, the stage show, so she's got some amazing tales, so that's going to be great fun. And we've also got David McGillivray coming as well, the Truffaut of smut.
And we've also got Larry Dan coming with his book as well.
Yes, Larry Dan's Oh What a Lovely Memoir, which we launched last year at the Cinema Museum Carry On Day. Larry is back to sign books, so if you've not got your copy yet, please pop along and get that. It's a brilliant read. I mean, his career, not just the 4 Carry-Ons and on television in The Bill, but his stage career and film career goes way, way back to when he was a wee tot as a small boy working with people like Stuart Granger. So it's an amazing read. So, it's quite a lineup. So I'm excited about that.
And also, we should talk about books, because Robert is hard at work, and I think it's an anniversary today, isn't it?
It is. Well, yeah, it's not a secret now that I'm working on this book for Great Northern Books, brilliant publishing house based in Manchester. They've done amazing books on Ken Dodd and Larry Grayson, and I'm doing a biography about Peter Sellers. And today, February the 18th, if not only my sister's birthday, happy birthday Fiona, but also Goody Graham Garden's birthday, but it was an anniversary for one of Peter Sellers' weddings. And there were quite a few, there were 4. So it's the last one.
You can go online, Google that, and find out who it was.
I might put something up later on the Comedy Historian Facebook page, so you can check out that and find out which wife it was. I'll give you a clue. Spike Milligan said, "It's the latest one, but it was the last." But anyway.
So you've got that, and you're also working with Jeffrey Holland, aren't you?
Howdy hi.
Howdy ho.
Thank you. Oh, that's a treat. Jeffrey Holland. I'm sure, again, if you've supported our shows that we've toured around a few times now, Comedy Friends and Comedy Heroes, where I'm in conversation with Jeff. We played the Dad's Army Appreciation Society weekender last May in Thetford in Norfolk, which was a joy. We've played Watford, we've played all over the place, and we celebrate Jeff's long career and also his passions, including Peter Sellers and the Goons, who he recreated for Dirt Mag's resurrection of the Goon shows a few years ago, and his solo show Stan Laurel. So yeah, we're doing that again, aren't we, as well? That's in Hastings, April in Hastings, yes. So April's always a good time for comedy. We did the Watford Falls exhibition last April. So it's always a busy time for us, which I'm glad to say.
So how are you finding? What's your sort of process at the moment with finishing up your book? Where are you at
with Jeff?
Yeah,
it's pretty. It's getting there. Our deadline is April the 1st, April Fool's Day. So we're going to hit that, I think. I'm not like Douglas Adams. I don't like the sound of deadlines whooshing over my head. I like to get books in under the wire, but it's fun, and it's a case of just phone calls and you and I are emailing Jeff, and he's jotting down thoughts, and we're zooming and recording those, and putting this whole wonderful life story together. It's funny and poignant, and full of name drops, and it's going to be a great book. And it's called, of course,
The First Rule of Comedy. ...
What else could it be? But no, it's going to be fun. So that, in all being well, that should be out for Christmas this year, 2024, along with the Peter Sellers bestsellers. So I've got a couple coming out this year. And
who knows, maybe a third.
Oh God, as if I'm not working hard enough already. But yes, we'll see.
So, just talking about actually Right on Comedy. So we do have an association membership, which we're hopefully going to be building this audience now in Euston. So do come along. If you join the membership, then you will get 50% off your tickets, and it's going to be really great. But the other thing we're starting to do is actually in about 2-3 weeks' time, we're off to launch our Right on Comedy workshops, which are at the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre. They're over 3 consecutive Wednesdays in the evening. And basically, if you have a passion or an interest for comedy writing, be it you're looking at writing sketches, or you're looking at writing a script, or you're kind of more interested in the historical approach, which Robert and I have taken, then, come along. Tickets are on sale. There's only, I think we're about 50% full, so there's still a few more left.
Limited space. I've got the dates now, Gemma, because I've got my diary here, my 500-year-old diary, proper Doctor Who. No, it's not. It's actually 2 years, but it looks like a TARDIS, so it's full of dates, obviously, as a diary should be. And the first one is Wednesday, the 13th of March. That's right, isn't it? 7 o'clock till 9 p.m. As you say, Gemma, at the Waterside Theatre in Aylesbury, and that's the next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that. So sign up, and we'll see you then. It's going to be a hoot. I can't wait to do that, because obviously Gemma is the teacher of the group here. I'm more the sort of, I don't know, comedy historian advisor or something, and I'll be quoting some of my favourite scripts and how they came about and how I wrote as well. And I've written Doctor Who, as I mentioned, for Big Finish, and just sort of like writing sketches and writing situation comedy, and it's all different sort of disciplines really. So we're going to share our sort of experiences and our knowledge of the craft with you. Be you budding beginners or established people that want a sort of fresher course, or just want to hang out with like-minded comedy fans and comedy writers to have a good laugh and each of us sort of learn our skills a bit better, really, I suppose. It's all about sharing and caring, isn't it? Those sort of
collaborating.
Collaborating. Oh, we love collaborating, yes.
Actually, I was going to ask you, Robert, so if you're looking to become a writer, what would you say, if you've got a script written or a book written, what would you say is the biggest bit of advice?
Oh, gosh, just listen to people and share it with people that you respect and trust and like, and be prepared. I certainly have had to have this. You've got to be quite thick-skinned in this game. Be prepared to have a bit of constructive criticism. I think that's important, isn't it? I mean, I certainly listen to you, Gemma, when you read what I've written, and we share and look at other people's work that comes in, and I'm aware you really have a core of an idea, be it a book, be it a script, be it a poem, whatever, that you want to retain, but it's always improved with an extra rewrite and an extra rethink. And I know you can think, oh, I don't want to read this again, but every time you do it, every time you go back to it and revisit it, it improves, in my experience. So just do that, persevere, never give up, because it took me many years to get my first book commissioned or accepted by a publisher, the Carry On Companion. I always say in the shows that we do about my life in comedy, I could wallpaper my house with rejection letters, but you just perseverance, never give up, because it really is the greatest feeling in the world when you get your book accepted.
And I think what's interesting is we both have a very different approach to writing a book.
Do, yeah.
What would you say your approach is?
I sort of like the nuts and bolts of it. I like the research of it. I like going into archives or libraries or just sort of rewatching stuff or listening to interviews or interviewing people that work with the person I'm writing about rather. And then that's the sort of the bare bones of an idea, and then I keep on going back and adding flesh to the bones, as it were.
How do you start when you've got that blank page in front of you?
And
How
you're
do
sweating
you
blood.
start? Because it is a very scary thing.
Yeah, it's sort of scary, daunting, I suppose is the word. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, and looking back at something like The Forgotten Heroes of Comedy, which is just the biggest tome I've ever done. You know, getting on for whatever it is, 800 pages or something. I look at that sometimes for research for other things I'm doing, which is quite nice to go back and reference yourself. But it seems impossible that I did that job really now. Or the Monty Python Encyclopedia, which just gets smaller and smaller print as you go on. It just seems to me just a ridiculous thing to have done. But you start with a blank page and you just start making lists of things you need to cover. So
you do lists?
Yeah, I do lists.
Because I'm quite
pointers.
different to you.
Yeah.
My approach is I need my structure first. I have to have like I feel like for me it's like building a house. So I need to have my foundations laid first. So what is the outline of the structure, and then I'd say is my research. And then from the research, when I get into interviews, I kind of want to, I go with an idea of what I want. So I have to map that out. Would you do the same for that?
What, for interviews? Yeah, I certainly go with a list of questions in my head or on a piece of paper, depending if I know the person. It's quite worrying. I remember interviewing Warren Mitchell for the book I wrote on Marty Feldman. And I'd never met him before. I literally just had exchanged emails with him, and he said, basically come around to my house, and I was quite nervous, thinking he might be a bit like Alf Garnett, stupidly, because I've been in this game a long time. But of course, Warren Mitchell's an actor that plays Alf Garnett, and he was the sweetest person and very welcoming and lovely. And my list of questions just almost fell to the floor because it was a conversation that just flowed, and that way I think you get better stuff if you relax with someone. But it's just whatever works really. But this is all part of the course. We're giving away stuff here. But,
it's good though.
It's good stuff. So it's going to be more of the same of this. But no, it's and thankfully we work really well together on the Carry On Girls, because I don't think anybody's come back to us and said, I know which of you wrote which bit, have they?
They might do now. We've mentioned it.
Yeah. But can you tell who wrote which bits of the Carry On Girls? I'll be intrigued to find out.
Yes. Page 120 was written by.
There were bits that I remember I was writing. I was writing, and it sounded like something that Gemma had written in the nicest possible way. I'm thinking I'm not going to say the style and stuff, but I thought this is slightly out of what I would usually do, but I was writing more because I was so impressed with what you'd done on another bit that I wanted to sort of almost emulate that and merge the two bits together.
It was very strange when we set out to write that book, because I don't think we had a clear path of where we wanted to go or who was going to write what.
I think you thought I was going to write all of it.
Well, I did at one point.
But
I enjoyed it though. Yeah,
I'd love to do another one together, actually, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we can do, but I'm sure there'll be any ideas you want us to write about. I'd love to collaborate with Gemma again. And I said at the book launch, if you were there, after all these years, what is it now, 20 odd years of writing books, I've never had so much press and so many good reviews so quickly. I really should write more books with my wife, I said. So let's do that.
Yeah, I don't know what we could write. That's I haven't actually thought, like, will we collaborate again?
I'll have a think in the bath this afternoon. I'll have a eureka moment. But yeah.
Oh God, we've got enough to do. I know.
Well, what else is coming up then? So we've got
what else is coming up?
Brighton Walk.
We've got Brighton Walk in July, which I know tickets again nearly at 50% sold. I mean, that's amazing. So it's going to be a slightly different route. If you came last time, we're going to do a slightly different route.
So I'm checking the diary. It's 20th of July, which is a Saturday. And we usually kick off about midday, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
So hopefully we will have that good weather that we
Oh my
had last
gosh,
year.
that was Gerald Thomas, David Croft weather, wasn't it? It was beautiful. If you don't know that, it was Gerald Thomas, the Carry On director, and David Croft, the director of Dad's Army. Never had bad weather. They just when they were on location, it was always beautiful sunshine for both of them. So we had the Thomas Croft blessing, which was lovely. But no, I loved that. We covered Max Miller, of course, the pure gold of music hall, born and bred in Brighton and loved Brighton. We did the Carry-Ons and Genevieve and Douglas Byng, wonderful gay comedian Douglas Byng, who lived down in Brighton. And so that was a hoot. I enjoyed that so much. And in fact, it's lovely that I know some of the wonderful people that came last summer have already booked for this one, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Which
I
is
think
great.
they're the ones that are already taking the
it?
spaces. So
Okay.
if you haven't been, hurry up.
Well, that's reassuring. If you like it and come back, that means we're doing a good job, right? So that makes me really happy.
So we've got quite a lot coming up. I just want to ask you one thing. So in the news at the moment, you're not expecting me to ask you this. You see, you can't see us now. You can't see our reactions like the Facebook lives.
This is a nervous laughter. What you can ask me, Jem?
But before we round off, could you tell me what your opinion is on the recent news this week of Eric Idle and John Cleese?
Oh gosh, that okay. Python's infighting.
Yes.
Have you seen this? I'm sure you have seen this. It's in the news now, isn't it? Because Eric Idle has been tweeting or Xing, whatever you call it now, and John Cleese has answered. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's so typical of the Monty Python team. They've always been beautifully sort of self-aware and sending themselves up, be it in terms of doing stuff purely for the money, the final rip-off compilation LP and all that, and just doing stuff to cash in on their legacy in the greatest possible way. So part of me was a little bit suspicious because Eric Idle, bless him, is touring America at the moment because your cousin saw him over there. He's
in
doing,
San Francisco.
He's doing Eric Idle Sings Python Songs, or one of his one man show things, isn't he? Yeah, which is always brilliant. I love Eric Idle, and when I was a kid, he was my favourite Python. I just thought he was so funny. The Torremolinos and all that business, and the nudge nudge wink wink with Terry Jones and all that. But I love him. I love him dearly. John Cleese, of course, is just about to launch the West End production of Fawlty Towers, which I presume Connie Booth's getting some money on it. I think it's just billed as John Cleese's Fawlty Towers, though. So they've both got stuff to sell. So the cynic in me, or the marketing person in me, thinks, are they just having a public row to get some press behind it? Having said that, Eric Idle has sort of bad-mouthed Holly Gilliam, Terry Gilliam's daughter, who sort of runs or helps to run the Python concerns, or the Python sort of franchise, as it were. So it's getting a little bit nasty now. It's getting a bit beyond a joke. But I hope they get on, because their legacy of laughter is so brilliant that I just, I wouldn't want them to end their days fighting over sort of little bits of money and stuff, and little bits of sort of public sort of awareness of what they've done. But I think I was beaten by Eddie Izzard when they did the O2 reunion shows, which was billed as 1 down, 5 to go. Of course, because Dr. Graham Chapman had died in 1989, and since then, of course, we've lost Terry Jones, and Terry was very much the beating heart of Python, really, as is Michael Palin. So they never seem to fall out with anybody, Mike and Terry. They were always sort of so lovely to everybody. And anyway, I don't know, who knows. But I noticed, I think BritBox have cashed in on it. There's an awful lot of Monty Python on BritBox.
That was just before.
Was it just before?
Oh, okay. So they've done all right.
They were very clever. Bit of serendipity there. But so if you want to go back and watch some glorious Python, it's all on BritBox. And to end on a really positive note, I know we mentioned this in one of the newsletters last year, maybe the start of this year, the end of last year. ITV, in their glorious sort of forgetfulness, talking about Michael Palin and Terry Jones, just immediately before Monty Python's Flying Circus began in 1969. Their last collaboration before going into Python was a thing called The Complete and Utter History of Britain, which was basically just a wonderful Python-esque or pre-Python-esque sort of sketch show all about history, which Terry and Mike love, of course. And traditionally, for years and years and years and years, 50 years, all that was left of that was a handful of sketches, 1 or 2 episodes, and Mike and Terry had gone into the studio for network DVD, the late lamented network DVD, to record some missing, some links rather, to link the missing bits and pieces and do a sort of best of what's left of this show. Anyway, last year, ITV stumbled across these misfiled cans of film, and they had the complete lot in the archives already. So that's on BritBox as well. And somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, wasn't it a shame they wasted all that time doing those new links?" I think it's great. I think it's great that now with Terry gone, bless him, we've got him and Mike in one of their last collaborations doing these great links for their missing sketch show, and now we've got the sketch show completely there as well. So we've got the best of both worlds. So search out the network DVD on eBay, and then you can watch the whole thing on BritBox. There you go.
Right, well, before we wrap up, 2 last things. So possibly our next talk, we're going to have a bit more of a focus. We're going to try and alternate these so that one is a bit more focused and one will be just on what
like
we're
this,
up
just
to.
rambling on about what we're doing. I love these, though.
and comedy news that's
Yes,
coming
exactly,
up.
yeah.
So I think our next one, we're going to celebrate someone who would have been 100 this year, Mr. Benny Hill.
Ah, yes, fantastic. Alfred Hawthorne Hill, to give him his proper full name, January 1924. So let's do Benny Hill. That'd be great. Yes, good. Looking forward to that.
And we will also, in 2 weeks, we have the privilege of being able to go to the comic relief at the London Palladium. So catch us after that, hopefully in about, 2 or 3 weeks' time. Yeah. We will do another podcast and we'll tell you all about that
yes.
evening.
So Lenny Henry's Last Stand. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's an amazing bill of stand-up comedy for the best of comedy causes, comic relief. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
What a year already.
I know.
It's almost hardly started and I'm exhausted already, but great, fantastic. Well, I enjoyed that. Jem, how long was that? Look, if we wrap it on, 25 minutes.
There we go.
Lovely.
All right, then.
All right.
So take care, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Love and laughter. See you next time.